We're back, of course, talking FF7. We got some updates for the Remake project, specifically Remake Part 3, maybe some of the biggest info we've had so far for it. So very recently, the devs for Ever Crisis did an interview with Famitsu about the first anniversary for the game, like talking about the first anniversary, upcoming content. I believe it's Ichikawa, Toriyama, and Nomura. And just kind of randomly in this interview, Toriyama just drops like a bombshell of info for the third game in terms of when we can expect info for it. Like, I don't know if he's talking about just like maybe some sort of teaser or like actual just like kicking off the marketing of the game. First off, shout out to Jedi Jin on Twitter for letting me know about this. She says, woohoo, we could start expecting news and reveals about Remake Part 3 around this time next year, around the second anniversary of Ever Crisis. And then also the tweet that she quote tweeted, auto-translated of course, says, I missed it, but I think information about the final remake will start coming out around the second anniversary of Ever Crisis. And then if we hop over to the Famitsu article, again auto-translated, Toriyama says, although we have just celebrated the first anniversary, the playing team has already started talking about the second anniversary. We're considering various things, such as what the next motif should be. We hope you'll enjoy the next anniversary, and by that time, information about the final work of the FF7 Remake project may start to come out, so we hope you will get excited together. So it's obviously kind of exciting, because as of September of next year, which is when the second anniversary will be happening, we could be getting, like, maybe the marketing kicking off for the game, or at the very least, like, maybe some sort of teaser type thing. That's what I'm saying about it being vague. Because information is vague. Like, we already get information now for Part 3. We get updates for, like, the High Wind and where they're at in development on that and stuff, right? But this is pretty major regardless because of potential release date stuff. Like, let's assume September of next year, 2025, they kick off the marketing for the game. That shit might be coming out in 2026, right? Now, if it's, like, a teaser kind of thing, like they did with, like, Rebirth, right? We got a teaser trailer summer 2022, right? And we didn't actually get to the marketing of the game until the next summer, 2023, right? So maybe they could, like, September next year, like, start kind of teasing shit for the game. Maybe we get, like, a little teaser trailer or something. And then they kick off the marketing itself sometime in 2026, and then the game drops in 2027. I mean, either way you want to go with that, it definitely seems like they are expecting this game to come out pretty quick. Because there's some people that are pessimistic that think it's going to come out like 2028 or something. But 2027 is just too perfect. It just writes itself for them to release a game then. And it seems like we can maybe get the game even earlier than 2027, potentially. Depends on what this information thing is next year. I fully expect it to be like some sort of like light marketing next year, and then maybe sometime in 2026 the actual marketing kicks off if they're going to come out in 2027. I don't really expect the game to come out in 2026, but at the same time I wasn't expecting this quote today, so who the fuck knows what's going on exactly. This kind of lines up with something I've been saying on the channel for a while, that we might see something for the third game in 2025, and it's really based off of what they did with Rebirth, where development didn't really start for the game until after the DLC for Remake was finished, so around 2021. And, you know, the next year, next summer, 2022, we got the teaser trailer of, like, Zack carrying Cloud to Midgar or whatever. I was always shooting for something like a year into development or something like that. Obviously, September of next year was like a year and a half, a year and 7 months into development, roughly, like full-on development for the third game. So roughly about a year from now, my dudes, the second anniversary for Ever Crisis, we can maybe start to expect to see stuff for the third game. I don't know what it's going to be exactly. Maybe they do something like they did with Rebirth at the 25th anniversary live stream for FF7 back in 2022. Some sort of like teaser trailer, maybe like a minute long. It's kind of vague. We don't totally understand what's going on. And then obviously the title potentially. So it's cool about that live stream back then because we got to like learn the title of the third game, but also get to see it. So that'd be kind of cool if they do that again for the third game. That's pretty much it for the video, though, my dudes. There is other interesting bits about Ever Crisis and stuff from this interview. Like, I know there's a tidbit I seen last night when people were doing translations that, like, he's the one that decided to do the Final Fantasy IX crossover for the game, and it's because he's, like, the least familiar with FF9, so that's why he chose it, which is kind of interesting. So I hope we get, like, another cool crossover in the future for Ever Crisis, but we had to hop on this. This was important. And speaking of actually translations, like, Audrey was doing translations of this last night, and for some reason, as far as I've seen on her feed, didn't talk about this bit of info for Remake Part 3. Like, this is like the biggest thing from this fucking interview, and nobody else has hopped on either that I've seen. I went down Geeky's feed, and I also went down like Shinark's feed. Like, this article is like 12, 13 hours old as I'm recording right now. Like, nobody's seen this somehow. It's kind of crazy. I'll hop on this really quickly and make this video that you guys know. It's a lot earlier than we normally upload, but this is very big information, kind of breaking news, even though the article itself is kind of old. Anyways, that's the video. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Search networks in the description below. Follow me on Twitter, @YT. That's it.
Used to care what people thought, but now I care more, and nobody out here's got it figured out. So therefore, I've lost all hope of a happy ending, depending on whether or not it's worth it. So insecure, no one's perfect. We spend it with no shame. We blow that like Coltrane. We in here like Logain, or leave it like Cobain.